Let's go to American Family Field. We'll talk with Curt Hogg of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. This is prior to Game 2 of another captivating series between the Brewers and the Reds, of which the Brewers have been playing very well against the Reds, and now they don't play again the rest of the year after this series. Curt, how are you? Good to see you. How much does the press box miss my presence? Do they even know that I'm gone?
I miss it greatly. Hunter be on air does an admirable job of filling in as the radio presence in the box, but can't quite match the pizzazz, baby.
Yeah, but he asks questions and does work.
Hunter grinds, man. He grinds. I will advocate for that young man for a long time. I don't know. I don't want to say forever. Like something could happen. I got to put a limit on this thing.
Yeah,
we got to be careful with these promises. But
when I was a kid, I asked my dad. I go, "Who's your favorite football player?" He said, "I always loved USC, and I loved that O.J. Simpson." And he says, "I love him. I'll love him forever."
Oops.
Not comparing Hunter to.
Well, one of my favorite. I heard that you talk about Aaron Rodgers sometimes on the show, just a little bit.
I think I'm going to come out of retirement to shit on him some more once again. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I've heard it's sort of a similar situation there. Although theoretically, without I think the murder part of it.
I'll go out of my way to say Aaron Rodgers is a great person.
Oh.
Yeah. He just has every quality in someone that I do not like. I can't find one thing I like about him.
What's your least favorite quality in a human being? Like the single thing that could make someone be like, I want nothing to do with you ever again.
Wow. What a great question.
Now I'm interviewing you on your show. See, this is what I do. I can't help but ask questions. Sorry.
Lack of sincerity. My biggest quality in someone, be you. I might not like you. I might like you. We're all on our own. Like we're all on this rock together, but separate. But we need to be together, Curt.
I do.
But I just want you to be genuine.
If you're a phony, Bart Winkler does not like you.
Be the person you are alone that you are. With, and I'm not talking about you might go to somewhere and you have insecurities or you're shy. Just be you. Just don't aggregate on Twitter. Don't water stamp videos that you don't own.
Ooh, I like that.
Just be you.
Is this why you don't like JJ Watt?
I don't like JJ Watt because he is corny and not funny. And he's.
Did you know he's from Milwaukee? Oh, did you know Owen Miller is from Ozaki?
All right. Well, let's go there.
Yeah, let's talk baseball.
Do I have to like someone if they're from Wisconsin? I don't like Steve Stricker just because I'm told.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't like JJ Watt.
I'm a Tyler Hero fan.
I don't like Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Although part of that is because he's from Whitnall. I got some brown deer Whitnall, cross beef going on there. So this has been a long-standing thing, TBH. Although I do love Joel Stavey. So.
Well, I love Joel Stavey too.
I'm contradicting myself.
Because all Joe Stavey did was win. People forget.
Winning as quarterback.
Yeah.
That is history.
Are we admitting that Owen Miller stinks, or are we not doing that yet?
I will say.
Did you see my tweet last night? I said more like no win Miller.
Oh my goodness. I'm
gonna tell him ask him if he saw that today.
I will say, hey, did you know Bart Winkler? Yeah, he probably does. Honestly, everyone does. You have a large footprint.
No.
Owen Miller, I think, has a place on this team on a regular basis. Their offense isn't good, but everyday first baseman, certainly not cleanup. I don't know if that's optimal. Like the batted ball data just never matched the month of May that he had. But he had a great month. You cannot deny it was a great month.
He had a good month.
Yeah, and the runs he produced, those count. The wins he helped you get, those count. But it's been a rough stretch since. The offense is bad. I don't know if you noticed that.
It is. Did you see this Ken Rosenthal thing?
From today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Were you the Brewers source? He goes, apparently he goes to somebody in the Brewers like, what's with this lineup?
I
5
did
through
not
9
have,
stinks.
I did not have a conversation with Ken when he was here.
Okay. Because he goes, 5 through 9 stinks.
Also, I put my name on it.
The Brewers person goes, actually 4 through 9 stinks. So what's the plan? What do we know if there's a plan? Are we going to trade for 2 shitty relievers again who have 2 S's in their name or what?
I mean, the bullpen can always use help, but the offense, like the bullpen doesn't need nearly as much help as the offense does right now. I think the tricky thing right now, like league wide, is who's selling. Are the Mariners sellers? If the Mariners are sellers, there's like 4 guys on that team, not counting Colton Wong. That although maybe they could just undo the trade, redo the trade.
No,
Wong, Winker goes back. No, you don't want that. Anyway, if the Mariners have like 4 guys, that would be pretty interesting. The Red Sox, I don't think they're going to end up selling. They have a bunch of interesting guys. Padres have some interesting guys. I don't know what their deal is. The Mets are probably going to sell. But like the hitting market, I think, is going to develop. We've only got a week left, but it's got to develop at some point here. I'm kind of shocked there hasn't been a single trade for a notable bat. Hey, maybe this draft pick right now that's hitting on the field in front of me. I don't know if you can pick up on the sound of the bat.
I heard it. Is that a home run?
No, that was a 12 hopper to the warning track. Some kid they just signed. I'm not sure which.
Some 16-year-old that's getting 6 figures now.
Hey, how old are you?
This is nice to talk to you while you're at American Family Field because you are comfortable. You're where you belong. I went and taped a podcast in the parking lot last week and couldn't stop looking over my shoulder. I was so nervous I was going to get in trouble. So it's nice to have.
I'm glad I come across as relaxed. Comfortable seats here.
Oh, sure.
This ballpark that needs $400 million.
Well, because they're still using Freon is the problem. They need to upgrade their air conditioning. I just did this in my home. We had a Freon air conditioner, and that was the problem. A new one. Yeah. Because they don't make it anymore.
Hey, well, if they need a painter, I know a guy.
I know a painter.
I know a guy.
Yep, I know him. I know if they need a guy to redo a bathroom, I know one of those guys. I got that guy. Yeah. I just wanted to jump off what you said before. I feel like I would not do the Winker for Wong trade back.
No, it was like I don't want to say
because Colton Wong was the worst Brewer of all time.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I'll explain. There's been many Brewers that have been putrid and bad.
What did he do to you?
No, Colton Wong cosplayed as a Brewer. He was never truly a Brewer. I bet you there were games he wore like Cardinals shirts underneath. And he probably FaceTimed like Yachty before games, like, look at me in this dumb shit. And then he goes back to St. Louis. They give him like a parade. I did not like him here.
All right, I'm going to test your theory right now. Colton Wong career splits. There's a simple way to prove if you are correct. How did he do it?
I already did. Me saying it means it's correct.
Okay.
What we got?
29 games against the Cardinals in his career, 222 hitter with a 580 OPS.
Wow.
It's not good.
No.
All right. I guess I can't write it off just yet.
I'd like you to write that piece though.
Colton Wong was, hey, if I find out that he was wearing St. Louis Cardinals like compression shorts,
it's like property of St. Louis Ball Club XXXL.
Yeah, I never saw red underwear. Although I don't think I ever really paid attention to it, so maybe I did. I guess I cannot disprove your theory quite yet. It is crazy though.
Yeah. Speaking of Jesse Winker, I'm gonna read you this email. It's a real email. Someone emailed me, and I've been forgetting to mention it on the podcast.
Good swing.
But I'll just read it to you and then get your thoughts. This is from a guy named Tony. He said, how can people come on the show and suggest Hira, Keston, if you don't know, would not be an upgrade over Winker at DH? Hira at his worst was never as bad as this guy. Caps lock, Winker stinks. They made a mistake not bringing him up to give him a chance. Arnold has to admit his mistake and cut bait with Winker. Who would even care? Now, this was written before the heroics of Monday night.
Yeah, huge hit.
Pinch hit.
Legitimately big hit.
Yeah, in which we're going to get Jesse Winker now, career pinch hitter. Where's Keston?
He's in Nashville, Bart.
And why is he still there?
Look, I have banged the Keston drum enough on this beat. I think people are probably tired of me writing about it and probably asking about it too. He's in Nashville. He's not here. There's enough of a history with Jesse Winker in there that where like I can see he's like exercising some patience for sure. Like, and there's also like enough signs. Like it's not the power, but the win probability added thing for him, where he is second on the team in win probability added on the offense. Like it's a bit. It's funny. It's weird. It's crazy. It's stupid. But like there's a little bit to it where like those moments are like extending the leash a little bit. It has to be. Like, you're ready to, maybe maybe they're thinking about it being the end of his time here, and all of a sudden, boom, it's a big hit off Alexis Diaz, not Edwin Diaz, last night. So it just makes it a little bit tougher of a decision. As for Keston, I banged that drum a little bit. Perhaps DH is a spot they're going to upgrade at the deadline, and they don't want to bring here up now. I don't necessarily agree with that line of thinking. At this time, like, he's not good in the field. Like, he's not a good first baseman. They're valuing defense greatly. So I guess that part of it. But, like, you're getting the worst.
Right, you can tell when they have Owen Miller.
Like, their overall team DH numbers are inflated from, like, what the actual DH production is because of Yelich when he plays there. And Contreras has had some, solid games at DH. But, like, it's the worst in the league.
Speaking of Contreras.
Yes.
Does the Brewers being called in to be the third team in a trade between the A's and the Braves?
I have opinions on this.
Does that mean the Hader trade was actually good?
I gotta be careful. I'm at American Family Field, and I will be saying the name Josh Hader.
Future Brewer Josh Hader in 1 week.
I bang. That's speaking of drums that I am banging. Give me the mallet. Bang, bang. The vibes would be immaculate. Everything would be, well, maybe not everything, but most things would be reversed. I think they would win the World Series just on like a 3-month high of vibes alone.
But this is what I say about that. He has to close.
Well, here's the thing. I think.
Wait, I'm setting up a joke that I've already said 3 times on this podcast.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Because if he pitches in the 8th inning and then Devin comes in, Devin will see Josh Hader leave. And the last time he saw him left, he cried for 3 weeks.
They were sad, Bart. They were sad. Like, legitimately. I know it's a meme on Twitter, but the players were sad.
I know.
I would have been too. To answer your question, if it was a legitimate question about the Contreras thing, no, it does not. I don't think it's unless the intention when you got Esteury Ruiz was like, we're going to flip this guy for just a heist. We're going to rip the Oakland A's off. They've been ripped off like that before. We're going to rip them off like they're familiar with. Unless that was the intention, I can't say that makes the Hader trade good. It's just separate things. But like both things can be true. The Hader trade was maybe 3 things can be true. The Hader trade, I still think made some sense on paper or on the computer or whatever. Did not make sense.
There's
in real
certainly
life.
A way you can argue for it, but
absolutely.
That's before you go into like that's in a video game. It works.
Exactly. Yeah. But then the practicality of it does not work. And then the Contreras trade, which used a piece that they got from Hader, was a steal. It was a fantastic trade. So I think all those things can be true separately. But like I just can't like say, oh, actually the Hader trade was, the bad things that happened from it and the fallout of it makes it all okay. Not necessarily, but you still have like a top 8 catcher in baseball now because of it, and he's in the second year of his major league career, so maybe it worked out in the end, I guess.
The lineage of it, there's a phrase that I use a lot is when teams get rewarded for bad behavior. And just because like something ends up being good doesn't mean that singular thing was bad. If I go out tonight and crash my car into a light pole, and then I like stammer into the closest gas station for help, and while I'm there, I buy a lottery ticket and I win. That doesn't mean the car crash was good. Did that make you think? You think it was good?
I already agree with you. So yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just
differentiation of like of actions. I don't know if that's a philosophical thing, but now it is.
And this is why my podcast is successful, but not at the heights that it could be. Is I'm maybe too smart for the average consumer. I feel like that's always been my curse.
That's
that and nothing else. Just that alone. So are we expecting maybe a bat at the deadline, or because I think like
I would expect a bat, yes. I think
right. Like last year, they were in first place, made the trade, got bad. In 2018, I always look back at that year, and I remember, and I talk about this a lot, Tim Allen was hosting his post-game show. I was drunk. I called into the show and just berated every fan that was happy about how far we got. Because
after game 6.
Yeah.
Is there audio of this? I need to hear it. I've heard
I have it somewhere. I've heard tales.
Yeah.
I can go find it.
I agree with you, by the way, on that.
But
which I'm gonna put a thumbtack in this, and we're gonna go back in a sec.
Okay. I thought they needed to do more, like do more. Then I look back at some of my tweets because I was trying to find like proof that I've always loved Orlando Arcia, and the Brewers did give up on him too soon. Unlike Winker, where he's Mr. Clutch. They didn't care about that for Arcia. But I found a tweet from that summer of 2018, and I'm like, no, I don't know if this is an all-in year. This is more like I was almost saying bites of the apple before.
Yeah, you were the original bites of the apple guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, before I get back to my thumbtack, the math on like, maybe don't go all in kind of checks out. Like, this is a team that should make the playoffs. They could use some upgrades for sure on the offense. They need some upgrades on the offense for sure. But, like, I don't think that changes the calculus, like, immensely what you can do in the middle of the year. There's just limited guys that can do that. I don't know how many of them are actually going to get traded this year. I don't know how many of the Brewers would actually trade for. Like, I don't want to say like they're prospect huggers exactly, but they have a good system, and I don't get the sense that like the organization is excited to like get rid of all these guys, these prospects. So
right, and they shouldn't.
It'll be an interesting thing to do because they have to upgrade on the offense. But how can you do that and actually improve your team and not screw yourself over in 4 years because Tyler Black will be on the Chicago White Sox at that time? Like, you want Tyler Black here in 4 years, but you want to win a World Series. Anyway, this is the question of the trade deadline. Everyone knows it. I'm not saying anything new. Can I get back to my thumbtack?
Well, I'm going to thumbtack this, but you go to yours.
All right. My least favorite saying in sports, and this has been a thing for like.
Fan is short for fanatic? No.
Is that you've said that
as a joke?
Yeah, as a joke. Yeah. You like do a little of that on Twitter. Or sorry,
X.
No, my least favorite saying is when a team gets close but does not get that victory cigar, a lot of fans, especially for like an up-and-coming team, a lot of fans will be like, don't worry, we'll be back. This is just the beginning. Are you sure about that? Are you sure you'll be back? Like, it worked out for the Bucks, I guess. I saw it a lot after they lost to the Raptors. And the moment, though, like me, Milwaukee guy, like I like the Bucks, crushed. I was like, I don't want to see, like, we'll be back. We don't know this. Yeah. We don't know this. I think that was probably a big thing in 2018 for the Brewers. Like, they'll be back. Not in this sport. You don't know that. You do not know that.
That's why it's so hard. So I fill in on CBS Sports Radio, and every segment I do, I basically talk to myself. So I run out of shit to say. So I look at the MLB standings and just talk about them like a real fucking pro. But
Cleveland Guardians.
But that's what I find so interesting
is
because I talk about Ohtani a lot and how I think one of these teams that even if you've planned for like the Orioles or the Diamondbacks, they're on this agenda, you have an opportunity that you never thought would happen.
Yeah.
And that it's worth like doing that. In baseball, I don't think that the Brewers I think most fans don't look at this as an all-in year or that they could win the World Series this year. But the thing with baseball is I won't even go out and say like the Braves are the favorites because the playoffs are more volatile than on the sport. I just want the Brewers to I don't need them to go all there's a lot of prospects we don't want them to trade. And there's a lot of guys that we want to see at the big league level. But if they can find like one trade that at least gives some recognition to the fact that they have gotten themselves in this spot. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about don't trade your reliever when you're in first place. Do better than getting an Anthony Swarzak or just some.
Say Swarzak was good.
Yeah, but just some slab of meat. Like get a player,
Get a human being, yeah.
Like John Curtis. Get a player.
Okay. Yeah, get a player. Get a guy. Or no, get someone who's not just a guy. Get a guy. Yeah.
Like go get CJ Cron.
I think CJ Cron's just a guy.
Go get Juan Soto.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Mark says he was in for him.
Josh Hader.
Hader and Soto for
Churio, straight up.
No.
Straight up.
No. That's a good poll question.
Yeah, the MLB trade deadline. What is that? The trade deadline is it's such a weird thing. Everyone wants to do something. And you need to do something. But how much
they expanded the playoffs and now we both did this at the same time, but they expanded the playoffs.
That's the unintended consequence maybe of the expanded playoffs is there's just not as many guys available. There's so many teams. And it's are you going to sell? It's July 25th, and there's 8 teams, and I have no idea if they're going to sell. So,
the teams in the AL East, they're 6 games over 500. They're in last place.
Yeah,
it's bonkers. And be cautious if you need to be. A lot of people, because I tweet someone was mad at me when I tweeted. Did I tell you this? I tweeted more like no windmiller.
You did say that. Yes.
Oh, all right. I was proud of that one. But then I make fun of the $6 vouchers and I make fun of whatever. And people say, why are you so negative? Why do you the Brewers? I love the Brewers. I don't think people understand it. Yeah.
I don't think people can. I don't know how people can question that. Yeah.
I love the Brewers.
It's a coping mechanism.
But they're so easy to make fun of and to meme that sometimes I wonder, are they somewhat in on the joke or are they so obtuse and unaware of how to run a franchise from a marketing and public relations standpoint that they are actually the dumbest organization that could possibly exist? Thoughts?
Have you heard of the Chicago White Sox?
Yeah. They had a great up-and-coming team and then hired an 80-year-old drunk driver to.
I think that's my answer. That's how I'm going to answer this. Yeah.
Okay, the White Sox.
Yeah. Is that good? I've been hanging out. I've been hanging out with a lot of baseball players and baseball managers and whatnot, and front office people.
You've learned how to not answer questions.
Not answer questions. Yeah. Well, actually, no, that was an answer. I could have given you a non-answer. Do you want my non-answer?
Yeah.
There's some music on in the stadium. Can you hear that? Is that ruining the audio here?
No.
Just a little soundtrack. Well, Bart, I think you got to look at the track record of what the Brewers have done on the field and off, and being a community pillar. And I think they're proud of the way that they run the franchise, and a large devoted fan base can, on the whole, is a good thing. And people, that brings about passions, and yeah.
Anytime you end an answer with "yeah," you are certainly not answering the question.
Yep.
Let me ask you one more, and then you got player.
These answers are not brought to you by the Milwaukee Brewers. They don't pay my paycheck.
This is the end of July of 2023. The Brewers have a homestand a year from today against the Marlins in July 2024. Where is Craig Counsell that day?
Oh, boy. I'm gonna give you a non-answer here, and I'm legitimately, because I do not know. I don't even know if Craig Counsell knows, and I am being sincere about that. I think the door is open. He's kept the door open for a reason, because there's multiple good options on the table, and he could come back in a heartbeat. I think if he comes back, it's only going to be for the Brewers. Like, if he's managing next year, only for the Brewers. He's a competitor at heart. He's a baseball guy at heart. This job, what he does here, really tough to walk away from. Like, when you spend your whole adult life in a major league clubhouse, tough to walk away from. But you're a dad. I'm a dad.
You are.
It's also tough to walk away from that.
Are you a boy dad or a girl dad?
Girl dad.
See, I'm just a boy dad. It doesn't count.
Well, Craig Counsell's a boy dad. Well, I guess he's a both, but like,
you got to be a girl dad or you're not a real dad.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I've heard.
End of discussion. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Bart. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, but you're a real dad.
Yeah, no, that was my answer. I don't remember where I was, but I think that was a good answer.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The fact that he hasn't said anything by now, it's a tough job to walk away from, but it's also, like, we were talking about this when he went and who graduated, Jack or whatever.
Yeah, Jack.
These guys don't get a day off.
No.
And they have to talk to media 5 different times a day.
He talks to us probably more than he talks to his family. Like, that's just the reality of being a big league manager.
Up.
Not legitimately, but like, you get my point. He sees the media just as much as like he sees his kids sometimes. And as a parent, that's got to be incredibly hard to do. And it's not only like, I mean, it's not just like that now. It's like, because of his job, he's missed out on a lot of things. And maybe now's the time to catch up on some things. And you can never, ever, ever knock someone for that. But it is tough to walk away from, for sure. As a seasoned athlete myself, hanging up those spikes, tough.
You know what's the one thing you can't buy, Curt? Time.
I was going to say happiness, but
no, you can. Yeah.
I agree. You can buy happiness. What about joy? Can you buy joy? Joy and happiness are different.
I'm going to let you go.